true happiness can only be found if we are also willing to look at suffering. So it's not about escaping suffering, but it's really about transforming suffering into something positive. And one of the insights that really triggered my specific interest in trying to bring happiness in the schools of Vietnam was the fact that UNESCO observed that the well-being of adolescents in these countries was not very good. So on one hand, the goal of educational systems usually is to get very high academic marks. On the other hand, you see that those countries who manage to get these high marks also have a lot of problems with their youth. So there's no correlation between academic achievement and well-being. So it led the UNESCO to reflect what would it need for schools to improve the well-being and the happiness of the kids. And this program has three main components. It's a teacher training program because we believe that the teachers need to embody the qualities that they want to implement in the classrooms and be role models for the kids. So the first module is called self-care. So self-care is about really cultivating mindfulness, cultivating emotional awareness, cultivating the ability to deal with difficult emotions, but also to cultivate very intentionally positive emotions. First, we start with mindfulness because you cannot really become aware of your emotions if you don't have the ability to observe inwardly what happens in your mind and in your heart and so on. And then really cultivating positive emotions and dealing with negative or painful emotions. Then the second module is care for others and society. That's a lot about cultivating social skills, how to create good relationships, developing deep listening, developing empathy. How do we perceive other people's feelings and emotions? How do we deal with other people's feelings and emotion? How do we create the classroom as a community, the classroom as a sangha, the school as a sangha? And there we include also parents. So it's teachers, parents, and students creating the whole school community around these themes of community building, trust building, teaching the kids the importance of positive human relationships based on trust, based on friendship, based on kindness, based on generosity, based on gratitude. So we have a lot of practical exercises. And then what we do is that we ask the teachers to write a reflective journal. So what have they experienced, what went well, what was difficult, what are the resources they found, what are the exercises that they invented, and so on and so forth. And based on that, we created a workbook. So we wrote the curriculum and they receive a curriculum, but they write themselves the workbook. I mean, we collect from all the teachers. We have hundreds of teachers taking part of the program, and many thousands of kids have been impacted. And then we so the teachers write the workbook and the kids illustrate with nice drawings and like that. So it's really their own. That doesn't come from outside. And the third module is taking care of the environment and the planet. And it's about learning about our interdependence with the environment, feeling responsible for the environment, and creating new initiatives how to better take care of the environment. And this module is very much student-centered. So we really encourage the teachers to have their children, their students, come up with projects, and they're there to support them, not to lead them, but to support them. And it's amazing to see how many projects the young people, even young children and young people came up with. Like, for instance, in one primary school, the kids came up with the idea that they realized that most of them bring their snacks from home in plastic bags, or their lunch and so on. And so they realized, after having seen a film on the impact of plastic on wildlife, especially birds, seabirds, they decided to stop using plastic, and they created their own bags. They made bags, and then painted the bags and distributed the bags to the whole school community, and now they don't use plastic bags. And our idea is that self-care, care for others, and care for the planet is not three different things. It really belongs together. So that's really about empowering the teachers and the children how to feel this threefold connectedness, connected to oneself, to one's deepest value, highest ideals, best potential, connected to others through love and understanding, and connected to the planet by feeling that we are part of the planet, that it's our mother, that we, as the children, as her children, we need to take good care of our mother. And because Vietnamese is a society where respect for parents is still very strong, the image of the earth as a mother has been very, very powerful for the children, So the idea to respect and love one's mother is very present and can very easily be applied to the planet. So the first thing is that the training takes place in our community, and Lizzie spoke about our community, Peaceful Bamboo Family. And the first experience is that when they come to our community, they have the experience of a place where these values or these practices are embodied already. So it makes it much more easy for them, because it's not just like theories or ideas, but it's really, they see it implemented, they see it on a daily basis. So the workshops are retreat-like, very similar to what you would experience in a Plum Village community. We begin with mindful walking, then we have mindful sitting, then we have Q&A from the previous day, then we present the theme of the day, and then we practice the theme of the day. So we have a lot of practice. Then the teachers sit together according to age groups and start to reflect. So what would it mean if I have 8-year-old or 15 years old? It's very different, so we implement it, and so on. And so it was interesting that usually the first feedback is the teacher saying, I've implemented it at home, and it had an impact in my family. So now, I had maybe a difficult relationship with my teenage daughter or son, or with my in-laws or whatever. And, since I've been practicing these, various practices, I noticed that at home, it has made a difference with my husband, or with my wife, or with my in-laws, or with my own children. And I think that's the very convincing moment, that they feel, wow, it makes a change in my personal life. And therefore, if I implement it in my classroom, it will definitely also have an impact. So that really what motivates the teacher. The second thing is that we encourage teachers to have practice circles within the schools, so that once the workshop is over, it's not something that is finished, but they have two things. We visit them regularly in the classrooms and give them support, and then we facilitate practice circles, so that each school has their own practice circle, And then we have also a larger practice circle, only maybe once a month or so, where teachers from several schools will get gathered together so that they can share experiences, challenges, and so on. We also have a parents' evenings where we invite parents to ask them if they've noticed any changes. And that's been always very moving. And also we had many teachers, telling us, for instance, one teacher told me, I became a teacher like 20 years ago because I love kids and I wanted to make a difference. And, after 20 years, I completely forgot why I had become a teacher in the first place, because it's just a daily routine and so much pressure and so on. And now I remembered why I had become a teacher. So it's very intergenerational. We are really people of all ages, and it's such a blessing. At my age, I'm 69, that so many young people get interested in what we're doing and want to support us, get engaged with us, and the feeling that whatever I'm doing makes a difference or is meaningful, even if it's a humble or modest difference, but it does make a positive impact. And I observe that always again and again. I shared a few stories. That really also gives me the energy and the joy to continue doing what I'm doing. Doing.